Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, here you go. A new organization called Crypto Rating Council is taking it upon themselves to determine which cryptocurrencies are indeed securities. Check out this tweet from Stuart Alderodi. He's at Ripple. Is that his title? General Counsel at Ripple with over 30 years of legal experience and expertise in banking, regulatory affairs, and complex litigation. So here's what he tweeted out. The newly formed Crypto Ratings Council agrees that these 20 assets, including XRP, are not securities. While it is good that the private market is taking more initiative, regulatory clarity, like we've seen from the FCA, is what's needed. And the FCA is, in the UK, it's the Financial Conduct Authority, which has stated that XRP indeed is not a security and has actual utility. It's a utility token, I think is how they phrased it anyway. So I'm going to run through this story with you, what it means. And I gotta tell you, the way in which XRP was rated, it's like it was on the verge of them considering it to be a security. I'll get into the specifics, but yeah, it kind of made me want to, I don't know, rip my hair out, my luscious hair. I don't know. So I'm gonna dive into that. I've also got, and you'll like this, David Schwartz. I'm going to share with you his thoughts on this. I've got a bunch of tweets. He's been busy this afternoon on Twitter. I'm going to share a bunch of David Schwartz. He's Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger. The last thing I'm going to cover, it's unrelated to all of this, which is why I'm saving it for the end of the video, but I just found it genuinely fascinating. There's a story I covered just the other day about an NBA player, a basketball player, who wanted to tokenize his contract. NBA said no. Now check out the title of this piece. It's on this topic. Bitcoin developer speculates Dinwiddie's contract, that's the NBA player, tokenization was a move to avoid future bankruptcy. So I'll be getting into that again towards the end. Before we get going here, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button and go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You will have a gosh darn good time here. Yeah, all right. Puppies and rainbows and sunshine all the time. So let's dig into this piece. This is a blog. So the tweet that I read for you when I opened the video from Stuart Alderodi, that included a link to this blog right here from Coinbase. And so Coinbase, they joined the Crypto Rating Council. So here you go. Coinbase is proud to join leading crypto businesses in announcing the creation of the Crypto Rating Council, a member-operated organization formed to assist market participants that trade or support crypto assets to comply with United States federal securities laws. Founding members of the council are Anchorage, Bittrex, Circle, Coinbase, DRW Cumberland, Genesis, Grayscale Investments, and Kraken. And so I know almost all of those. I'm willing to bet that you've at least heard them as well. I'm not familiar with DRW Cumberland, and what's Genesis? I don't know what that is. It sounds like quite a generic name. Anyway, however, the proper legal characterization of a crypto token as a currency, a commodity, a security, or something else can have a meaningful impact on how crypto businesses operate. Whether a token is a security under United States federal securities law in particular will significantly impact registration, licensing, and operating obligations for financial services firms that offer crypto services like exchange, investment management, or trading. Although the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has issued helpful guidance, whether any given crypto asset is a security ultimately requires a fact-intensive analysis by knowledgeable technical and securities law experts. This analysis is difficult and expensive to operationalize consistently, may involve judgment calls, and can lead to disagreement among legal experts and even government officials. This challenge prompted Coinbase to bring together several industry leaders and securities law experts to create a scalable, points-based rating system centered around a set of several dozen yes/no factual questions. These questions are derived directly from SEC guidance and case law and are designed to address important characteristics that inform whether an asset is or is not a security. We also worked hard to focus our framework on objective, repeatable, fact-driven questions that can be answered consistently by technical experts across different assets over time. The result of the analysis is a score which makes it easy for members to synthesize the analysis across many tokens and make their own independent business decisions about whether or how to support an asset. And then they got a list of the members, which I already read, so let me skip down here. Any asset rating published by the council is the result of a factual analysis performed by outside legal experts in conjunction with technical experts at member firms. These legal experts then use the council's framework to establish a rating for each asset under review. Member firms, typically acting through in-house lawyers, then deliberate and vote whether to adopt the rating. All scores published by the Council are the result of this analytical and deliberative process. We expect and look forward to welcoming more organizations to the Council over time. The Council's analytical framework results in a score between 1 and 5. So check this out. Make sure you're paying attention here. A score of 1 means the Council's independent analysis suggests the asset has few or no characteristics considered with a traditional regulated security. A score of 5 means the Council's analysis suggests that an asset has many characteristics strongly consistent with treatment as a security. So that's the rating scale. 1's good, 5's bad. Unless you want something to be security. All right, the Council will publish its score for most assets that members support or use in the ordinary course of their respective businesses. We expect that some ratings will change over time, and we will accept and consider feedback from asset issuers when they want to share additional information or clarifications that may impact an asset's rating. Now, that part's certainly fair. Scores should change over time because with the nature of cryptocurrencies, and you didn't have this with any other asset, call it what you want. Like this, what can happen with cryptocurrencies quite literally made no damn sense in a world that was pre-Bitcoin, pre-blockchain. But purely with the utilization of a cryptocurrency over time and the way it's actually used, it makes sense that if it can become sufficiently decentralized, it could, I'm not talking about XRP, but a cryptocurrency certainly could go from being a security to no longer being a security, and in theory, the inverse of that. So anyway, the Council's ratings are performed independently. They are not endorsed by the SEC, CFTC, or any government agency, a developer team, or other third party, and they are not legal advice. Although we may seek input from development teams, developers have no influence over the performance of the analysis, and most of the Council's ratings have been established without direct developer input. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up their website here. And I kind of skimmed through this. I got the gist of what this organization is just from that article, so I didn't really read too much of what's on their main page here. It's about who we are, why we started CRC, our security ranking framework. I just went ahead and hopped right into this, which is what you guys are going to want to see. Check this out. So this is where we get into XRP. CRC Securities Framework Asset Ratings. This page shows the latest securities framework asset rating published by the Crypto Rating Council. These ratings are the sole and independent work product of the Crypto Rating Council. The ratings and other CRC work product are not endorsed by any asset development team or foundation, any regulator, or any third party. Scores are subject to change at any time without notice. And so before I read how their rating system worked, I just kind of assumed a higher number was better. And so I scrolled all the way down here and I was like, oh, there's XRP. It got a 4. Awesome. No, that's one number away from them saying that it's a security or has characteristics, many that are strikingly similar to a security. So I was like, oh, God, thank you, Coinbase. Thank you for that. And so here you go, XRP with a 4.0, and we got 4 bullet points. Usage of securities-like language. 2, sale of tokens or token interests prior to the existence of token utility. 3, marketing of the token suggesting an opportunity to earn profits. 4, decentralized development and usage. Okay, that's rather vague. I was kind of thinking with this council, if they're going to be legit, why? Because I was thinking, can I just click on this and get more information? What's going on here? And I could be missing something because, admittedly, I just found out about this whole thing within the last hour, and so I suppose if I was too hasty, perhaps I missed something. But there's nothing apparent on this page that would lead me to believe that I can learn more about how they arrived at this conclusion. Take a look at this, though. But they do right here in bold. The score does not reflect a legal conclusion and is no indication of a qualitative value of an asset or a suitability for investment or any other purpose. Okay, let's go see what David Schwartz has to say about this. So here's a tweet, and so he retweeted what Stuart Alderodi wrote, which I covered at the very beginning of the video. Right? And then here's David Schwartz's comment on this. Good to see this initiative. While I don't agree with everything, for example, XRP had utility from day one, I do look forward to working with the XRP community to help further inform the council's analysis. And so I don't know where they got the concept that XRP did not have utility from day one. When did they consider utility to have begun? Because the characteristics of XRP, although it became more decentralized over time, other than that, fundamentally what you could do with it, in terms of transferring about all that, that was there. The potential for it to be used as money or to be used as a bridge card, it was all there from inception, right? So in terms of utility, what I would need to know more about what their rationale is behind stating that it didn't have utility from day one. David Schwartz here clearly disagrees with that concept. Now that said, look, as far as this council existing, something like this sounds overall like it should be a benefit for the entire asset class. It should be. They didn't do anything ridiculous like state that XRP is a security or that there's many attributes of a security. They didn't do that, so super duper. It seems to me like they're probably trying to be genuine, even if we disagree on certain things. But I just want genuine, thoughtful discussion and consideration on this. As long as there's no bias going into this, then we can all be adults and just disagree if we disagree. That's fine. So check this out. Researcher Mega wrote, I understand, but I don't agree that this non-binary initiative is good. Pressure on regulatory entities to work faster is good. However, I don't think that the private sector with unknown motives should influence with something that is strictly reserved for the SEC and courts. And so David Schwartz wrote in response to that, the SEC isn't going to be able to figure this out on their own in a vacuum. They will need help to show them where the innovation is so that they don't crush it. That's been happening in secret without public scrutiny. This is, in my opinion, a step in the right direction. And I do share the sentiment that David wrote there. Absolutely. I don't see this as a bad thing. And again, if there's any sort of indication that there's some sort of weird bias and it's affecting the way in which cryptocurrencies are being rated, then I'd have some beef. I don't have anything to that effect right now. So to me, seems kind of like step in the right direction. Okay, now check this out. I got more from David Schwartz. So somebody named Mayo Dispatch wrote, how long is Twitter going to allow David's Twitter account to be hacked before stopping this imposter? I read that and I was like, what the hell? So David responded, I expect these ratings to be followed up by full transparency about the facts and processes that lead to these numbers. Precisely what the factors are and how they're weighted. If XRP loses on that kind of playing field, it deserves to lose. Mayo Dispatch wrote, in my opinion, the game is over when the winners are known. You know more than you say. Just cash out those shares and IPO, become a billionaire, and eat those cons. And then, so David, David wrote, this gets weird. David wrote, fake Converses? Please, I need to know what I'm supposed to eat. And so I guess he's talking about shoes? And then Mayo Dispatch wrote, cons or bonbons, you decide. And then David wrote, oh, I love bonbons. Twitter. I love this. I'm very tempted to retire and just sit around watching TV and eating bonbons all day. I'm not going to eat fake Converses, though. They're not tender enough. So David Schwartz, at least, is not without a sense of humor. I like the guy. XRP Research Center chimed in here. Hi, David. I really don't think this council is open to receive feedback on this matter. They're not being transparent on the criteria applied to their assessments, nor regarding the people involved with them. I really hope I'm proven wrong in the future. To which David responded, I expect that you will be proven wrong in the future and that they will be transparent about the criteria and what they think the facts are about each of the assets they rated. And so if I had to guess, I'd say, yeah, probably, because how are you forever just going to get away with not explaining further what led to these ratings? I'd be very surprised, but we'll see. All right, last piece here for this video. Bitcoin developer speculates Dinwiddie's contract tokenization was a move to avoid future bankruptcy. The sports sector has witnessed an increase in crypto adoption lately. Philippines-based boxer Manny Pacquiao announced his support for crypto by introducing his very own cryptocurrency, and the Dallas Mavericks followed the Sacramento Kings and started accepting Bitcoin as a means of payment. Earlier this year, Brooklyn Nets basketball player Spencer Dinwiddie revealed that he was steering into the crypto industry as he announced plans to tokenize his $34.4 million NBA contract extension. However, the NBA revealed that Dinwiddie would not be able to tokenize his contract and use it as an instrument for investment. In a recent discussion with Tone Vays, Bitcoin developer Jimmy Song stated his stance on the same and went on to explain why Dinwiddie might have considering doing the same. Freaking crypto media. They left an entire word out here. Like, crypto media, just read your work before you publish this crap. I'm sorry, I'm not actually mad. It's just ridiculous, though. So it just tripped me up. Oh, I didn't catch that because I was reading quickly the first time I read through this article, and then it tripped me up here. Now I'm talking about it. You're ruining my video, AMB Crypto. Read your work. Really grinds my gears. So anyway, Bitcoin developer Jimmy Song stated his stance on the same and went on to explain why Dinwiddie might have been considering doing the same. I added the word in there for them. He suggested that Dinwiddie's move might have been an alternative to getting paid in Bitcoin. This was possibly a way for Dinwiddie to sell all or a percentage of his future earnings in order to invest in Bitcoin, Song added. Tone Vays, on the other hand, described how this was more of a speculative play than security. Even if the NBA allows this, irrespective of its terms which states that the players cannot do this, the players would still have to face the SEC, Vays added. He said, quote, "So the token holders are basically making a bet that his next contract is going to be bigger, and that's how they make their return back." Furthermore, Jimmy Song revealed that every NBA player is scared and that they might go bankrupt once they are out of the league, and he speculated that Dinwiddie is trying to allocate his money in a reasonable way in order to avoid bankruptcy. So there you go. You can take that for what it's worth. That's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. So that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!